starting against Celtic.
Welcome to All About The Gers, brought to you by our sponsors, the JR Group, Plugged In Business Solutions, DB Dental Care, Reflex Blue, The Right Software, Dev Provider, and Avia Signs. Our chosen charity partner is the Second Chance Project. We are now official agents for the Rangers Lotto. Find out more at www.allaboutthegers.co.uk.
Hello and welcome to All About The Gers. It's myself, Ricki, Neill. Join me, Charlie and Derek. How you doing, guys?
All right. Not bad.
Good. Good weekend.
Aye. Everybody's in shorts, I see.
Shorts.
That's great. We're on holiday mode. We're on holiday.
I wish we were on holiday.
Aye, next week.
Well, Charlie's life is a holiday, isn't it?
Aye, so
Isn't it, Charlie?
Let's not have bloody Santa Claus.
Charlie's going to tour America, isn't you?
I'm going there on Thursday, aye. Look forward to it.
There'll be some experience, won't it?
Aye, looking forward to it, so can't wait.
You got your cowboy boots and all that.
Aye, so
Did his line dance.
On your way for?
I'm back on the 2nd, I think it is.
Right. Happy days.
Aye.
So I'm looking forward to it, can't wait.
I hope the plane journey's safe. All that turbulence and all that.
Nice thing.
You're away next week?
I know.
What?
You're away, no?
next week?
Aye, I'll be here.
I thought you were away.
No, I'm here. I'll be here. I'm away to Monday.
Aye, I'm Monday, no?
Mm-hmm.
You'll be this
we're on-
Monday?
No, I'm away tomorrow and then I'm back Monday.
Oh,
so
are
I'll be
you?
back for the
Ricky's away
podcast.
on
Have you
holiday.
not done?
Aye, but we'll need to do it remotely. I'll show you how to do it.
Right.
I'll be in a bar in
Remotely.
I'll be in a bar in Mallorca.
Oh,
And I'll be in a bar in New Orleans.
Aye.
All right, and I might be in a bar in Larkcall then.
So you can go in your wee bar in your back garden.
I'll do that. Aye. Sure.
But I
Didn't know that. Right, that's news to me.
thought you said
thought
you
you
were
were
away.
No, back on the Monday. I've made sure I come back on the Monday
No, you
so,
didn't.
for the podcast.
No,
I
so
did.
you
I did, Charlie.
Full of
I
shit.
made sure that I says, Carol, I need to be back on the Monday night because I want to do my week in a Ricki, do my homework for podcast on
Aye.
the Tuesday night.
Total
Aye.
professional.
Oh, aye.
Aye.
Professional.
So we're playing at Ibrox, is the stand open there then? Because it looked as if it's off.
The stands
Carpet
that
fixed.
that stand's no getting open for the weekend's game.
Right, I'd realised, but it looked it's all done. My mate sent me a photo.
But I think it's that.
Looked great, actually.
I wonder why it's not opening then.
Oh, there was. Aye.
Unless it's in the tarmac bit. it's
I'm
not
hearing
finished.
reasons why we are back at Ibrox.
Oh,
All right,
Well,
tell
no,
us.
Well, we'll not go into that too. But no, it was just with the season tickets. Now I'm not going. It's.
I know, but
Ma-
I've seen the photo. Did you see the photo of the stadium?
I saw. Have you seen the guy that flies the what do you
The
call
drone?
it? The drone era. Tell you what, that's been a wee bit of. It doesn't come across too good at times, you know, with the people that are handling that situation. I think the guys that try to do it. It looks smart.
Aye, well, there's Stephen online saying that the Copeland front's open.
See that boy with the drone? I mean, I find it quite interesting because he is giving you an update, and I just think at times the situation in terms of him being on the land or wherever he's flying it, I don't think they've handled it well. At times, there was one guy that was excellent with him, but I think he's just trying to keep us up to date and let us know what's happening because we're all interested.
Do you know, I've got my drone licence.
Right?
He's got a driving licence, but he's got a drone
You've
licence.
got
A drone licence, aye.
Right,
I take because we were doing it commercially.
how do you get a drone license?
So
Tell me.
I had to go down to Manchester and do a 2-day kind of written test and all that. It was actually torture because I've not done anything like that since
Right.
school. But it's like 2 days. I thought it was
Uh-huh.
done for a jolly, but it wasn't. It was 2 days reading books and all that. And then you do a test. And there's like 80 questions in it, and if you fail 10 of the questions, and you fail the test. But see the actual flying bit, you're only doing it for like 3 minutes. You know, so it's actually all this stuff about the.
I don't think me and Charlie will be taking
Nah,
that test. I
nah.
think we'll just give that. You'll bypass that.
Yep.
Anyway, but Rangers were back at the weekend. It was good. The international break's torture on it.
Horrible.
But it was a good start for Rangers, I thought, Derek. But kind of peeled off in the second half. But Tom Lawrence.
Aye. Do you know something? I thought it was a superb start. For 20, 25 minutes, I thought we were different class. Yep, it tailed off. But I'm going to say something really strange. I don't know about you, Charlie, but see throughout that game, I know we were only 1-0, but with Lawrence's goal, I felt pretty comfortable in the game. I know when you get to 10, 15 minutes before the end and you only get that goal lead, you get nervous. I didn't really feel nervous. I don't know why. I was sitting watching it with Darren and Ross. They were up to high door.
I think it's because they didn't have a shot on target, probably.
I don't know what it was, Charlie. I just felt pretty comfortable. But in saying that, we've got to we've got to have a look at that because we've started quite a lot of games pretty well, and then we just for some
first
reason
half,
we tail off.
We had a game with one of the teams on Sunday, so I had to rewatch the game. But I thought the first half we control of the game. Dessers has got to make it 2-0. There's a few wee other half chances. Second half, I thought Lawrence has got to score the one that puts the other bar. I think it's a great save for the pass for Ngamani or whatever you call him. But he looked apart, which was good. That was nice to see. But I think Dessers has got to score. Dessers has just got to go touch hit. He's moaning about the guy.
I say it often.
But sometimes he doesn't even need to take the touch. You know, sometimes he's taking an extra touch.
But then he didn't have to take another touch. Once he had the space, he just touch, bang, and then he takes another touch.
See the game. See before the game, I was pretty nervous. I've got to be honest. I was because they were in good form. Dundee United, good defensively.
They conceded a goal free,
and they've recruited very well. And they were getting into that game with a good deal of confidence. But I tell you what, it was a great response in terms of we were so disappointed, so down after the Old Firm game. So the boys showed a wee bit of bottle, a wee bit of character. But still, we know there's still loads to work on, so we've got to keep that momentum going and dominate games for 60, 70 minutes. So it's a work in progress, but no, it was all about the victory. But
I thought they played decent.
So that's why
I think with Clement working on them, with having them maybe the 2 weeks there with international break, it might have had them in together, working on defensive shape, when they're counter-attacking, when they're not counter-attacking, when they go and press teams, when they don't go and press teams. I think he's obviously worked on that because, as I said last season, and I know it's not been, I said a couple of weeks ago that we were probably a stronger team last season than we are now. But Ngami gives me a wee bit of, I'm liking what I'm seeing. But remember, Clement came in and after maybe 6 weeks, he got the team together, he kind of galvanised them, he got us into a position where we should really have won the league. So I'm thinking, hey, let's give the guy the time and let him get his own boys, his own shape of the team. He's bringing these guys in. I was shocked with Cherny. I'm like, another bad injury, but obviously it's just an illness, thank God. And then Cortez playing 45 was good to see. So fingers crossed. And Jeffy done really well again.
By the way, and that's a point I was going to make because that's the three guys I was delighted with was Jeffy, wee Baron in the middle of the park, and when Ignami or whatever you call it, we're going to say when he come on, by the way, he's going to excite the fans, isn't he? We've saw wee flashes of him, and we're just desperate for him to go up to speed and see if we can maybe start him. But again, that will come down to the usual.
He looks strong and powerful.
Do you want to know what I was good? Believe it or not, what I was thinking about when he come on and he done the one with the chest control and he's your type of player, isn't he?
What good is
he? So that's what I was thinking. Charlie would like him.
I was saying to Charlie just before you come in that did you hear Clement's interview after it? He was talking about Ngami and he basically said, I'm glad we bought him this year because we can afford him next year.
I seen that. So they've done their homework. We know why they took him on board injured. I don't know why he never came out right at the start and says we've had to go and take an injured player and it's going to take time to get him up to speed. But now he's explaining the reasons why, so it's quite refreshing. But he looks a talented boy. He looks somebody that's going to excite the fans, and that's what we need.
Ricki, it was strange how with a 2 week break and Stelling's not starting in that game, and that's just we hangs him because Stelling still for me has to start in the game. I really believe he does, and you've got to find a position for him before he's going to end up getting pissed off. Because I think he can play anywhere in the midfield, anywhere at the back probably. But we've got to find a solution for him. And I like him in midfield because he does get us forward. But because I know Big Martin was on a few weeks ago saying that he can't play 2 games a week, but we didn't play for 2 weeks. So I thought he'd have been
That's
my
the
first
first,
name.
that's the first thing that came into my mind when he never started. I remember Big Marv saying that, you know, so there must be an issue there, fitness-wise, because when Dowell started, that was a big surprise. But there you go. He must have issues with his fitness. We don't know. They're not going to come out and tell us. It's clear to see.
Do you think he was only giving Cortez 45 minutes no matter what, do you think? And then he's bringing Bajrami on? And it looked like that.
That's planned. And again, that comes back to the sports science. I think, you know, a lot of that will be dictated by that. But even Cortez played pretty well as well. So again, somebody that excites us. So we've got young guys in, kind of. They've got a wee bit about them, got a point to prove, and I think that it's just nice to see. I just wanted that reaction. I was pretty nervous before that game, but it was a real good reaction.
Do you know what I liked? It might have been the 2 week that they've had that chance to play together. They seem to be doing loads of these wee kind of triangles and kind of one-touch passing, but they all knew where each other was, as if they're all starting to kind of gel and get used to playing with each other.
They'll be going through their kind of passages of play and all that, and they've worked in things like that. You know, we've done it before. Sometimes you do it without opposition, then you go up against opposition. So it's clear to see. It's going to be
interesting though, because Lawrence did well at the weekend. Lawrence did do well. It was a great goal, great finish for him. We got a wee bit of ricochet, but he done well and a great finish. But for me, Bajrami was signed him in a deadline date. He's got to play in that position. He's got to play in there. I think that's where he wants to play. That's where he likes to play. That's where he prefers. So what does he do? Does he try and keep Bajrami on the left, or does he bring Cherny back in? But it's good. It's good because we've got more options now.
I was wanting him to start. You know, I was wanting him to get straight in there because the boy's fit. He's ready to go. But again, the manager came out with the explanation. Didn't know the players too well. Didn't have maybe enough training sessions. But I think that's where the manager plays pretty safe at times in that respect. I'm sometimes of the opinion that when you've got the guys in, it's football. It's all the same. Doesn't matter if you don't speak the language, if you don't know the players that well. Good players can play with each other. So I'd have liked him to have been thrown in, but listen, it worked out pretty well. It was a good afternoon, and we needed it big time, didn't we?
There's a Paul Oracle tackling Barron. For me, it's a red. Studs up at speed, late, endangering an opponent. Charlie, did you see that one?
Yes. When they slow it down, it looks worse. It does look worse all the time. And for me, there's some of them have been given red cards. For me, it's not a red card. In this day and age, it might be, but we don't want tackles taken out of the game. But he could have hurt the wee man, but fortunately didn't. But I think when we played, it's not even a foul.
And that's what I'm glad you've just said that, because I don't want that to be a red card. But if you're going to look at other incidents where players have been sent off, because you keep getting told, Charlie, that you cannot go in with excessive force. You know, if you've got to take even sometimes when they take the ball and they go in with the force, they still get sent off. The boy never got the ball. But what I'm going to go back to, I don't want to see players sent off for that. I think the boy does go in, and I think he's an honest challenge. He does catch him. It is dangerous. And another day it could have been a red card. But listen, we saw. I think the one was at the Hib St Johnson. The boy gets sent off. It doesn't even connect with the player. So the game is physical. The game's contact. Sometimes it's a split second. So it could have been a red, but I'm glad it wasn't. Because I still think it's part of the game, you know, that physicality, that tackling.
So there's a sniper. He's saying, don't forget, like, subscribe, and follow it. So make sure you share this with all your mates and get us to be one of the best podcasts out there. We're actually up to just over 6,000 subscribers on YouTube now, which is great. And for some reason, I don't know if it's because Big Oz was in the show, even though he's not from New Zealand right enough, but we were like number 21 in the New Zealand podcast charts for football.
It's a strange one, isn't it?
Aye. Must have been a big Rangers supporters club there. Well done, New Zealand.
If you
want us to come and visit you, just give us a shout.
I know. Well, there's actually John McFadden as well. He's watching from Western Australia. So
there you go. Fantastic.
Brilliant.
Well done, John.
What time would that be there? Come on, you know,
Charlie. Well, Western Australia was a different time for me. I was obviously Brisbane, Gold Coast, but Western Australia's Perth. That's the first. It's like a 3.5 hour flight one way and 5 hour flight back the other way. So I think they're a couple of different time for
Aye.
Brisbane.
Right.
So I would probably say it is.
Where's Stuart Monroe in Australia?
He's
What
in
is-
Sydney.
Oh, it's 2:14 a.m.
2:14.
2:14,
Yeah.
yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Must be on the
Get
night
your
shift.
bed, mate.
Stay up, John. Get everybody else up.
So, right. Thoughts on the other new players so far?
Was that on the?
Just the other new players that have joined Rangers.
Proper, I'm still a wee bit worried about. I wanted a big guy to come in and just go and header things, and I know he's Dutch and they don't do that, but he's
That's
maybe
your
a player.
question, Charlie. Do you think he's better than Golson was when he first came to the club?
No,
I was actually reading about Goldson today. See the turnout to his game in the weekend, 1,000 people.
Was it? Aye.
Is that
I
what
just,
just at the wank has
Aye, his
road game.
Aye.
I just think when Golson, when he first came to the club, I think there was a real aggression about him. But he could ping a ball as well, you know. couldn't he?
But I think
Could play a
proper,
wee bit.
well, as a player, I think proper as a
We've got
player.
to allow them to settle in.
100%,
Of course,
100%.
and then obviously, again, it looked as if there's a wee fitness issue. But you've got to remember, he was the captain at his last club. He's come in there. So I kind of get, and I'm a wee bit like, I'm looking for somebody with stature, a real leader, to take that responsibility on. But listen, he's still settling into the club. He's still, we've got to give these guys a bit of time. So, but I'm pretty happy with most. I just want to see them all fit and healthy. The players that have come in, Barron, for me, is a shining light. Because I don't know what they've came to with the compensation. I'm not sure if that's that come through yet.
Still ongoing, is it?
Well, he's a bargain. That's Aberdeen's fault. They made a muggy of that. That's their downfall. But I love his confidence. And I think he knows in that Rangers side, he's going to flourish. I think he knew that. I think that's why he didn't choose to go to England. I think he knew getting into Rangers, the way he plays, he was going to... he was going to dominate games. He was going to be in possession of the ball. That's his game. It's about possession. And he does it ever so well. And I love the wee bits that he cut, like kind of defensively at times. He done really well. I think we were slightly critical of him earlier. But that's all about learning. And there's a lot to like, yeah. So there is...
I like Barron. I think he's done well. And I like Diamande. I think Diamande can still do more for me. I think he does maybe... And that might sound stupid, but I think he runs a bit
too much,
if you know what I mean. You know what I mean? He's
got to think about it a bit.
He's got to kind of play his position, play that. So if he's in the right of or play the right of that side and middle, outwards and forward, box to box. Don't be going left past Barron. Try to. I know it's he's wanting to get involved. He's wanting to run about. He's wanting to show he's competitive and. Sometimes maybe a wee bit too much excitement. It just kind of takes away. You end up leaving a wee hole where you don't want it to be, and just has to play his position a wee bit more controllable.
And the game with Cortez was a good 45 minutes. We just need to keep him fit. Just a wee thing. I think it was one time. Just his reaction to losing the ball. You know, it's kind of, I don't know if I should say this, it's like a kind of typical forward player, typical winger. He just stops, the arms go up, you know. Your first reaction is, listen, we all make mistakes, forget it, just get back in, try and win the ball back. So there's just wee things, but sometimes wee things matter. So overall, I was just so happy with that result because we needed it big time because of everything else that's going on at the moment at the club. So a much needed boost for the travelling fans that you know, I got to applaud them. You know, they tell you what, they were in good voice, weren't they?
Non-stop.
Weren't they? Absolutely brilliant. So it was. So then, by the way, you make a difference because, listen, we can vouch for that. It drives you on. See, when you've got that support, you know, even if you're going through a wee sticky part in the game, by God, that makes a difference. So it does.
But as I said on here before, see if you're not in a good game, but you just put one of these challenges into a player and the fans go, yes, then it gives you a wee bit of belief. And then the next minute you're settled and the fans are behind you and you're going, right, this is it. Nowadays, probably.
But it does, honestly, and I just thought, I'm sitting in the house watching it on the TV, but it came across and to me, like, by God, that's brilliant. The backing they're getting the players. And do you know something? At times like this, and it is tough times at the minute, we need them. we need them big time. I tell you what, you tip your cap to them, didn't you? Because of how they stick with us, sorry.
No, because the amount of Rangers fans I spoke to and the frustration
Mm-hmm.
is like
100%.
shocking, but they still go to every game and every away game, you know, but they don't even want to go because they're that annoyed with the way Rangers are now, you know, but they still go. But just going back to Proper, there's the sniper saying Proper will be a far better player. Let the lad settle in. He's never played outside Holland in his career. Plus, you ain't a bad player if you're captain FC20.
And that's
We know that, but it's just he seems to want to get off injured quite a lot, and I just want. He's composing the ball. He's technically very good, and as nearly every Dutch player is, they're very good on the ball.
Just does it very simple.
Yeah, but I want him to be more aggressive. Just want him to be more. Obviously, if Suter's going to be the one that's going to go and attack the ball, then Proper can maybe just sweep in behind. But he's no fault me with the most enthusiasm right away. Like Arthur Newman came in, and Arthur Newman was just a bang right away, and he was a great player, and you can see that right away. Like Van Bronckhorst, you can see our players. So, he's obviously going to get the time, and the manager brought him in, and they're going to stick by him no matter what.
So here's a strange question for Philip Gage. What's Miller and Ferguson's experience in drug testing? Was it common in their days?
Do you know something? PEDs. That's a brilliant question in terms of because Stuart Lewis over in Italy already, he's only been there a couple of years. I think he's been drug tested about, I don't know, 7 or 8 times. Well, it might even be more than that. See, throughout my whole career, at not one point did I have
Walter got me drug tested. My manager.
What was your book?
You drug tested, I know.
I passed with flying colours, but
I was not.
But Andy McLaren, my mate Andy McLaren for Castle, he was the first player ever to done with it.
Oh, was he?
When he was at Reading. I was at Watford, I went to do the same.
Is that no respect to after the games getting drug tested, or is that just within the club? But I'm talking about after a game. Sometimes there's
supposed to be, there should be.
Well, how often were you drug tested
I've had one after a game. There must have been a wee fat guy doesn't take drugs. Look at his state of hand. I can't run.
I tell you what, if they took a sample of our urine, there might have been some alcohol in it at times. That might have, but no, not at one time. It's quite scary that when you think about it. When you look at in athletics,
see when we played against the Italian teams in the 90s in the Europe,
they
were bloody hell, man. Honestly. They were run everyone.
They were on the proper, Charlie.
Aye, they were on the proper.
Plug for your book there.
That's a wee plug for my book.
Under 15s running about with moustaches and beards and all that.
They were Nandrel under a nut.
Their fitness and their kind of physicality was different. Maybe they were ahead of us in respect to how they train, how they eat, how they, whatever. Listen, all the vitamins and all that they can put into your body, but no, I was never drug tested after a game, surprisingly, and even that's after even some of the cup finals, even down in England, I was down for a period, so nothing.
There's quite a few questions coming in about what's happening on the board, but before we go into that, I just want to say our thoughts are with John Bennett, who's obviously had to stand down. I've met him a few times. He's a nice guy. He's a Rangers diehard as well.
It's not about not being a Rangers diehard or a nice guy. He is a nice guy, and we all know that, and he wanted Rangers to do well, and just unfortunately the circumstances. We were struggling financially, and
stress is a horrible thing.
Especially it's something you love.
And if you're chairman of Rangers, you're going to be under stress. And it's I've seen people that have been affected in other businesses, and it's horrible. You see, so it's something that we shouldn't turn our nose up at and think, well, come on. So listen, he's done the right thing. He's probably had good advice. And he's had to step down. So, and we know what I say, the amount of money that he's putting, his personal money into the club. Let us all. He's Rangers daft. So, listen, we just wish him the best.
100%. We hope him and his family are all okay.
But it still doesn't take away from that. At times we've been disappointed with what's went on. In the boardroom. Listen, we're as passionate as all the fans out there. We want the best for Rangers. So it's the right decision for him to step down. I think we're going to maybe touch on it because obviously the thing with Dave King, coming out and making himself available. He's got issues there with Douglas Park.
Yeah.
I think there's their relationship seems to be a wee bit kind of tarnished. But sometimes for the betterment of Rangers Football Club, you've got to put your disagreements to one side, you know.
But the way Dave King's talking as if he's going to get investment from the Middle East.
And that's
what everybody's kind of like, okay, if that's the script, then please, we want that to come in. But
and
I just don't think coming in for 2 years again and then leaving is the greatest idea, because it worked when he was there, and then it didn't work when some other people taking over Douglas Park or whatever. So if he's got to come in, he's got to have somebody ready to replace him that he thinks is going to be the right man.
Do you want to know? I like it what Dave King says, and he's been really honest in saying, I'm going to come in for the 2 year, right, and I'm going to kick some fucking, I'm swearing now, kick some backsides. You know, I'm going to sort this issue that we have at the club in terms of the people that are running it. We've got to get the right people in the right places throughout the club. So he's a straight talking guy. He knows the club inside out. He's very experienced. So why not get him in for the 2 year? You know, and if he can put a few wrongs right, get us back on track, and see that investment. I mean, he'll do his due diligence. He's got relationships with people all over the world. People get a few bob, and it's not just like somebody coming in saying we're going to throw X amount of money at it and we want a say in it. He's too experienced to let somebody come in and make a mug a Rangers Football Club. I think we should be putting a wee bit more trust and a wee bit more kind of just trust in him and let him come in and
John
do that.
Gallagher, and I love John Gallagher.
We all love John.
John Gallagher's
John
a great
Gallagher,
guy, and
of course
he'll be desperate to kind of get Rangers back to where they belong, and no doubt it is. But we need somebody in who's going to be able to bring investment and proper investment, not just a couple of million here, a couple of million there. We need proper investment. We need a proper structure again back at the club, from top to bottom. I think the football side isn't too bad, because I think Clement and Coppen had their hands tied quite a lot in the transfer window. I really do. And we all know that. We did. And I began to look, and I've got some of them are good players, but Jeffrey's looking good. And Ngami looked really good. I like Bajrami. I've seen Bajrami play a few times. Cherny, I still think he's to settle. Proper.
We've got to get it right. We've got to get a new chairman in. We've got to look at that. We've got to get the chief exec in, even with the what's going up at Murray Park.
I still think we have to get it right in the pitch first, and then that takes care of itself.
Well, I'm going to be a bit different for what you're thinking. I think, I thank Dave King for what he done, and the fans getting them back. But I think we would be taking a step back if we bring him in. I think we need investment now. You know, and if this American crowd are
but
serious,
is that not why Dave King's putting himself out there? Because he knows, or he's got a relationship, or he's got connections with certain people that he could bring in to help us out at this moment, because his words were, we're in a crisis. It kind of feels like it just feels a bit of a mess, isn't it? For us, Rangers Football Club, to be sitting with a chairman, a chief exec, and was it the head of youth, head of the academy? That's not a good look. That's not the way it should be done.
I just think you need somebody in the country treating it like a full-time job.
100%. You need them here all the time.
And I don't know if Dave King can do that with his businesses in South Africa, but I don't know. I just think it'd be taking a bit of a step back. And then there's also rumours going about that if he comes in, Stevie Gerrard will be returning as well.
Oh, I don't think Stephen Gerrard will be back.
See, what worries me as well, why is right? You're giving your reasons why you don't think you should be in. I get a feeling that people behind the scenes at Rangers and the board,
they don't want him.
They don't want him, right?
It's like,
so for me, for the outside looking in, I just think he's a very experienced guy. I'm talking about he'll have these kind of relationships with people that maybe he can bring a bit of investment in. And I'll go back to the other one. We had an opportunity to bring in Graham Souness. Why did we knock that back in? What, is it because he's a straight talker? Is it because he'll just tell you the way it is? Sometimes you need a wee bit of that. You know, somebody to go in there, and I just says it earlier, kick a few backsides, you know, and don't worry about these sort of things in terms of you might be intimidated with these guys. They're in because they're good at what they do. They're good at their job. They know football inside out. I'm talking about Souness here. Why would you not have him on board? I think it's crazy that we've not got somebody like that. And that's what I'm saying. At the minute, it's a bit of a mess. Why not get Dave in? And I take on board, totally get your reasons. But for me, I would have him in.
Alan Cloyce thinks the same as you do as well. They think he would come in and totally.
I just think he could get investment, and I think if the way he was talking is if he's already guaranteed that maybe Saudis would be interested, or else Americans would be interested. So that kind of gives you a wee bit of a lift right away, because the current situation just isn't good enough. And as we said, John Bennett's a lovely guy, and he done his best and put a lot of money in, and we wish him all the best. But
see, I'm going to say
they need somebody with.
See, John is a lovely guy. I'm not bothered about having lovely guys. You know, we respect them. I want guys that are going to come in and do a job. That's it. You know, and get to the nitty gritty of things. Why things are not getting done behind the scenes. The whole debacle at the stadium.
Who's bringing in like the guys to work in commercial things like that I've got 40s of European Cup and things like that.
Aye.
He got sacked after a day, didn't he?
Aye, that's right.
You
homework like that.
Aye. So I take on board what you're saying. But so there you go. We're kind of in here. We're kind of split a wee bit.
I think
it's not a bad thing. But I just I like. It just sounds to me no nonsense. He knows how to come in and fix this and get the right people in place so that he leaves in a couple of years.
I would take Sheikh Mansour the Mora.
Do you know when Big Craig was on the other week? I think what he said was right as well. That we've got too many individual shareholders.
Yeah,
that it's as if they're just looking to try and get their own whatever they've put in. It's as if they're trying to get that back. There's nobody in there thinking about how we can take Rangers
David
forward.
Murray, we've known that David Murray.
See, the thing I didn't like about Dave King. See, before the Celtic game, he came out and he was pretty vocal about with Douglas Park. You know, he was critical of him, and I didn't like that. The timing of that wasn't very good. I didn't like that. You know, that's for after the Old Firm game. Just let the game take care of itself. Obviously, it went tits up, but that kind of I felt a wee bit let down by that. But I've listened to him. I was listening to him on Talk Sport the other day, Monday.
I've not done my homework properly since King was here.
Aye, do you know? A lot of people are saying that online there. Stephen Park saying Douglas Park and John Bennett's appointments have been disastrous. Ross Wilson, Stuart Robertson and Michael Beale. We don't even know if it was their final say as well, because it couldn't just be they two, would it?
But it'd have to be named Bisgrove, what his name is. They've got to be involved. But since King's left, we've just it's went by the wayside. Money we had, the European run, but where does all this money went to? People who have maybe putting in what you're saying, putting in loans and then taking maybe a percentage back on top of that or whatever. I don't know how that works, but we really do need somebody that is a major shareholder who's got a lot of money, and hopefully Dave King can find us that person.
Right. Do you know, obviously, I was part of Rangers first when we went down, and then they merged together with the Rangers Supporters Trust and formed Club 1872. You wonder if they're actually getting a voice, because I think they've got about 4 or 5% shares as well. I don't know how I've
They wouldn't have any voice on a managerial appointment.
No, like managerial, but you wonder if they're allowed to go to these meetings and voice the concerns of the fans.
You'd imagine you'd have at least one committee man that would be going, wouldn't you?
Aye, they should. But I think King would come in. He would, and I know people want stability. They want the 4 or 5 year, but if he can get the right people in the right places throughout the club, gets a wee bit of financial backing somewhere, because it's clear we need that if we're going to be challenging Celtic.
Just going back to Souness, Paul saying Bisgrove didn't want Souness.
Well, that's the problem. Why did they not want? Why no? Why would you not want with the experience, the know-how, even what age is Graham now? 70, 71? But he's so fit, he's so driven, he's so Rangers minded, he loves the club. Get him in, use that expertise, use that knowledge, use that experience. I can't believe we've not got guys.
I'd actually heard it was Michael Beale that didn't want him in, because he was going to be giving him advice. But why would you not want advice for
because
Souness.
Souness is a straight talker. He tells you the way it is. Some people don't like that. He would make people feel uncomfortable. I think if you're making people uncomfortable, it's a good thing because you're on the ball. It's like a manager. Good managers we played under, you never felt comfortable in their presence. They made you feel uncomfortable. So you knew you had to be, I'm not going to swear, you need to be bang at it. So that's what these guys should be in the door. The more of them you've got in the building, the better. That's how, when listening to Dave King, that's why I would rather have him in the building. That's why I would rather have a Graham Souness in the building, because they're straight talkers. They tell you the way it is.
Did guys like David Murray ever come into the dressing room before a game? Aye.
God, I get took to David Murray took me through to Edinburgh into his office when I was having a not the greatest of times with Graham Souness. Sat down with him, he tried to kind of get me on the straight and narrow, which I don't think he should have done that. It was nice of him, but I think the wee issue I had was just between me and the manager, and I was wrong, I admit that, but I was young, a bit happy daft, got to be honest with that, but Murray, you don't often get that, a chairman taking you in for a bit of lunch and trying to kind of make you see sense. So I appreciated that at the time, but I was young, a wee bit fiery. I've chilled out now, haven't I? I'm very. But,
she's seen him watching Old Firm and Denny.
No. By the way, that was a lovely wee day, wasn't it?
You missed it.
I was getting in thrown out. He had a big bag of t-shirts. I was going to wear my coat one night. I felt like Santa. I did feel like Santa Claus handing them out and all that.
I know. I'd planned to hand them out
did you?
At half time. He's grabbed the bag off me and threw them to everybody at the start. But
some of the young ones were all sitting there, so they could. Billy looked after us.
Do you know what was funny?
I think Billy's a good guy.
Billy was excellent, but you were on the other week, and one of the guys, his wife said to me, Ricki, do you know your podcast puts me to sleep at night?
Ricky's voice.
Brilliant.
And
Ricky's voice.
So I said it on last week, and her husband says, "Oh, it's definitely yours, Ricki." I said, she's already sleeping. So it was a great day. We need to try and do more of them at different pubs.
Aye. Oh, by the way, that is. See, you're in there and watching the games with the punters as well. You're fired up, but also it's yourselves a good laugh, innit?
Yeah.
With them, the patter's brilliant.
That's what we should start Friday podcast.
Aye, I know.
Aye.
Well, last week, me and Fergie done that. We went on at half time and full time,
and that works.
Even though we get beat, we still are.
And again, we can give our opinion on the game. But what the great thing was at Denny, when I sat back down, a few of them didn't agree, which is magic. That's a game. Because we're all different, we've all got our own opinions on the game, but no, it was a great wee atmosphere.
You said I can come back anytime.
I know. I think you've got
you've
got a season ticket.
I think it was my singing.
Billy texts me something later on about you, but I'm not. I wouldn't come out and say that. So
you need to tell me now.
No, I'll tell you after this is off. But no, thanks to the Denny boys. You were brilliant.
And then Saturday at 5:30, we've got Dundee. They're sitting sixth in the league, Charlie. Another tough game, isn't it? Well, it shouldn't be.
Well, it shouldn't be usually, but we have to give them respect or due. They've started the season okay, Dundee, and Tony Dock's got them playing good football or scoring goals, but we just have to make sure we're at it again, and it takes care of itself. We're at it, and we take our chances, then we'll win the game. It's as simple as that, but we have to start taking chances because we're missing too many. Even in the game against Celtic, we still missed a few chances in that game.
I could have totally changed the
100%. And so we really need to take our chances. And
listen,
once we start banging them in, then the game's
Charlie,
take care of
we're at home. So listen, we will.
Back at Ibrox.
We'll give them all the respect. They've just been beaten as well, but they have started pretty well. But they've lost their best player, McCown. So are we good enough to go and beat them? Of course we're. So I think he's absolutely right. It's about us, Daniel Joe's been at it. Get after them, get an early goal, keep that standard. That first 20, 30 minutes we saw at Tannadice, we want to see that for an hour, 70 minutes. 90 minutes would be brilliant. But if you can keep that level of performance up for 70 minutes, we'll kill most teams. So we will.
It's the pace of the game. See the pace you start at Ibrox, man. See if you get that ball zipping about and you're attacking and you're putting balls in the box. The fans will get behind it. The fans will realise that, oh, by the way.
And Ricki spoke about it. See some of the passages I play when it was the one touch in the final third.
Flick back heels. But
it's not just about the wee flicks and all that. That's a touch, the movement, the anticipation. And it looks as if something that they've worked on. So, we just want to keep that kind of standard of play up for a lot longer than what we've seen. Because that's the standards that's required at Rangers Football Club. But Dundee, they've started well, but we should be able to go and get after them at Ibrox. Not a full Ibrox, but it doesn't matter. We're back at Ibrox. It's going to make a huge difference. So it is.
Charlie, would you be changing much for your 11 for your last week?
I think the new signings have to come in. I think you have to start getting them in. The sooner they come in, the better for them. It's obviously a difficult one for like Sir Lawrence. And does he start Cortez again?
I think he will. I think he will start Cortez.
But the new boy Casawiro or whatever, is he going to get a look in soon? Or
why can they not have just no names like Smith, and Hendry or something? You know
and
what I mean?
Ngami, Igamani, whatever you want to call him. Igamani.
What's his first name?
Hamza.
We'll go with
Call him
Hamza.
Hamza?
Just call him Hamza.
So I think the more games he's going to, the more minutes he gets, he's going to look to start on himself. Because if you're a hungry young boy, you want to be on that pitch. So I'm sure the more minutes he'll get, the hungrier he'll be to start.
There's a bit of juice.
Score predictions brought to you by Avia Signs.
You're not very professional, you are you? I was just saying about it's get a nice kind of wee look about it. You have to in there. You've got Barron, you've got Diamandi, you've got Cortez,
Hamza.
You've got Hamza, Igamani, you've got even Raskin as well back in the fold as well. Good. So you've got young McCausland.
Bajrami's only 26 or something.
So we've kind of the age has come down a wee bit, So it just, and I like young, hungry players that are going, and they're going to get better. You're still chuckling, aren't you?
No, that music must have been quite loud for the viewers because there's loads of people saying the chat.
I didn't know what was coming or going there.
So apologies about that.
You're shouting at me. You're not on. You're not on.
I know that was funny because Derek was speaking for fun there, and the score prediction came up, and they could hear it.
Right, so I'll read out some of the score predictions that are coming in. There's a sniper 4-0, Cherny and Ngami, and 2 for Barron. So that's very precise.
Times 2. I think that's Ngami times 2.
Ngami times 2.
Aye. I would say 3-0, 3-4.
We need to start getting goals. We need to start firing them in. So I'm going to say 5.
Aye, and we're making chances, so that's the important thing. So just be a wee bit more clinical. But listen, the manager has come out he did come out with a big statement, didn't he? That come October, November, that's when you'll see the real us. Yep. So you can maybe, I don't know, start to see signs of that, coming. So we're still thinking 3-4 weeks down the line. We're going to be in a far better place. So, but again, we're getting into Europe as well. So we've got some of these big games coming up that's going to maybe take its toll. So that's why we need all these players back. We need the Raskins. We're going to need to look at the McCauslands, the Balligans, the Sterlings, Bajrami coming in. So he's going to be using this squad quite a lot because these are tough games. Some glamorous games, aren't they? So glamour ties. So a lot to look forward to. So, but it was a big call with the manager. So. We hope he's well. We certainly hope he's right.
So what score did you say?
I said 3-0.
Yeah, I'm going to go 4.
I know.
There's Johnny Belfast saying 3-1. But I'm afraid that's us at the end of the show. But in fact, Derek, you didn't see, but Zenith Coins gave us an amazing Rangers coin to give away as a competition. Okay. So to win it, all you need to do is go to the website, which is allaboutthegers.co.uk. Answer a question about Bob Malcolm. What was it again? It was his first game. For his first debut, it was actually against you, wasn't it? I'll just keep the answer away.
I was playing in Norway.
Have you gave it away?
Aye. So just go to allaboutthegers.co.uk and fill it in. And we've got 2 coins actually to give away. So
Very good.
limited editions. But thanks again. And me and Derek are going to try and come on. I'll be in Spain. You'll be in your house next Tuesday.
I'll try and come on if I can as well.
Aye, what's the time difference in Nashville?
No idea.
No idea.
I'll be in New Orleans then.
But thanks again for tuning in.
Cheers, guys.
We'll see you all next week, hopefully, if we can get some Wi-Fi in Spain. But take care.
Cheers.
Brought to you by our sponsors. The JR Group. Plugged in Business Solutions. DB Dental Care. Reflex Blue. The Right Software. Dev Provider. And Avia Signs. Our chosen charity partner is the Second Chance Project. We are now official agents for the Rangers Lotto. Find out more at www.allaboutthegers.co.uk.